That's right, guys. In this video, you're gonna learn why you're losing money on smaller time frames and why it's an absolute waste of time, in my opinion, to trade on those smaller time frames. I will tell you all of that in this video and the solution, of course, to the problem. And when I say smaller time frames, I mean everything below 4-hour time frame is for me a smaller time frame, and I will explain to you what the challenges are, why it's so hard to make money there, why a lot of people are trying to make money there, what the idea is, what the psychology is, right? And who are you fighting or playing against? Because you need to know that, right? When you're going into the ring, when you're fighting a guy, then you know, okay, the guy is huge, then you know your chances are, well, small, I guess, right? Or if you're going to a car race with your Honda Civic, and then they have, Formula One cars, you know it's not going to work out, right? In trading, it's very hard to see the enemy, right? Because you just see the chart. You don't really know who are you fighting against. And in this video, I'm going to show you who are you fighting against, what tools they're using, and how they're playing the game, so you can understand if you have a chance or not, and where you have a chance, right? And that's the main message here, right? First of all, understand the enemy, understand the rules, and then play the game that you can actually win. All right. So this video is gonna definitely change your mind if you watch it until the end, right? And so this video is something I wanted to produce for a long time, but I struggled with how to explain. Now I know, and I want to change your life by making this video. So please watch it until the end. Not for me, I don't care. For you, okay? Because it will change your approach and will make you much more probable to actually make money in the markets. As always, guys, this is not financial advice. This is education. Crypto is still risky. You can lose all of your money. But that is why you subscribe to this channel. You watch the videos, especially the ones from the AutoTrading playlist, which is a game changer. Thousands of people have told me that they love it and they changed their trading game forever. So you can do the same. I will link it up here, okay? So you can watch it afterwards. This video will also be in that playlist, okay? It's basically a free course on algo trading that actually works for the long term. All right, so like it's pretty nice. And so this is education, yes. If you like the video, then like the video. It's pretty obvious. Massage the like button, because it gives me a good massage when you do that, right? I feel it, yes. It's your support towards my content, so thank you very much. And with all of that in mind, let's get started. Okay, guys, let's get into this. This is super exciting, and I'm already excited for you because it's gonna blow your mind, okay? So in order to fully understand why lower time frames are such a pain in the and why it's so hard to trade on them, you have to understand three different things, okay? You have to understand volume, you have to understand speed, and you have to understand the tools that you have access to, all right? And let's start with volume and zoom in here. And the first thing you need to understand is that you need to understand how volume plays a different game on a different time frame, okay? Because if you're on a smaller time frame, of course, you need less money to move the price than if you're on a higher time frame. Let me show you, because this is mega exciting. And once you understand this, like, comment down below, okay, if it blows your mind or not, if you knew this already, or if it opened your eyes, okay? Comment down below after watching this, okay? After watching this volume section. Okay, so first of all, how much money does it take to move the Bitcoin price? Let's stick to Bitcoin. 1% up or down. How many dollars does it take, right? And to calculate that, what you need to do actually is you need to look at the order book, right? So this is about 1%, right? From down here to up here, it's about 1% price difference, right? And if I want to move the price from here to here, then I need to go through all of these orders and buy all of them, okay? If I want to move it up, right? Because this is a lower price than this. If I want to move it 1% up, then I need to spend all of this money here. And all of this money is $22 million, okay? $22 million, okay, to move the Bitcoin price 1% in one direction. So yeah, that's money, right? Like, fine, I get it. But let me show you why it's actually not so much money on lower time frames, because that's the whole point of this, right? So this is basically the money that you need. And by the way, if you are interested in how to calculate this very quickly, I used AI for that, right? So I went to Binance, I made a screenshot of the order book, and then I went to the AI and I gave it this screenshot, okay? I just gave it the screenshot and I said, listen, calculate the total sum, right? And also how much percentage it is between here and here. So I know that basically how much percentage am I moving the market when summing up all of the totals here. And it came up with basically almost 1% with 22 million, 22.5, something like that, right? So it's actually very nice. to use AI to analyze the picture and to not calculate yourself, it takes too long. I checked and the numbers are correct, okay? Okay, let's go to the charts and see how much damage we can do when we manipulate the price 1% to any direction. In this case, 1% down, okay? So we have this box here, which is the same box on all of the time frames, so that you can see how it plays out depending on which time frame you're trading on. So this is the 5-minute chart, this is the 15-minute chart, this is the 1-hour chart, and this is the 4-hour chart, okay? We are basically in the same situation here, right? We are at the same point in time, just on different time frames, okay? And the difference that you have between these charts is not necessarily the price move, but where is your stop loss, right? Because will it hit your stop loss with the 1% move or not, right? So on the 5-minute chart, your stop loss will be here, right? Below these candles. On the 15 minutes, it will also be here because it's below these candles and you give it enough room, okay? And on the 1-hour chart, it will be below these candles, right? But you see, on the 4-hour chart, of course you give it more space, right? Because you can't put it here. It's too close. It's pretty obvious. So you put it lower. And you can see that on the 4-hour chart, the 1% price move will not fake you out of your trade. It doesn't even come close to that, right? But here on the 5-minute, and let me zoom in a bit more. On the 5-minute, I don't even need to move it 1%, right? I need to move it only about 0.5%, right? So I don't even need to have 22 million here to manipulate the price, because I can do it with half of that already, okay? And very similar thing with 15 minutes. I only need 0.5% manipulation. And here on the 1-hour, of course, the higher you go in the time frame, the harder it gets, right? Here I have to manipulate the price 0.6%, so I have to put more money on the line. And here on the 4-hour, I would have to, and let me zoom in properly here. On the 4-hour, I would have to manipulate it 2.8%, right? So it's almost more than double the money, right, that I would need on the other time frames. And this basically shows you in a simple way, in a graphical way, how easy it is to fake you out of a trade on lower time frames, and that it gets harder and harder on higher time frames. And I will show you 1-day chart later so you can see how hard it's there, okay? Because 1-day chart is getting even harder to manipulate, especially for a longer point in time. So I will do that at rather the end of the video. And just visualize this, okay? If you are on lower time frames, you are much easier to be manipulated, and you need not a lot of money to do that as an institution. And keep in mind, because I say 22 million is not a lot of money, why do I say that? Well, because 22 million is not a lot of money for institutional players, for market makers, right? For big hedge funds, right? That's nothing, right? They can do it. I mean, they even have more than that to manipulate the price 2, 3, 4, 5% as well, right? If they want to do that. And so if they want to hunt your stop losses, which market makers do and institutions do, right? You put your stop loss here, and you're not the only one putting the stop loss here, right? There are millions of other people doing that as well. And if enough volume accumulates at that level, then it actually pays off to manipulate the price down, buy lower, and then let the price rip up again, but you're out, right? Because you were stopped out. But it's much harder to do that on a 4-hour chart and above. And that's the whole point here. And you need to fully understand this, because if you don't get it, that you're playing against massive institutions and algorithmic traders that have more money than you, then you will never make it on these time frames. And that is why I'm telling people it's useless to trade on smaller time frames, because you have no chance because of what I'm just telling you right now. Of course, that's not the only thing you need to know. Yes, we also have to talk about speed and tools, but that's one of the most important aspects, the volume and how easy it is to manipulate the chart. So please never forget, the enemy on the other side has more money than you, and it's very easy for them to hunt your stops and then go to the other direction. This is also why it happens to you a lot when you trade, that it goes in the wrong direction and then it goes into the right direction, but only a few hours later, and you lost money, right? And that is the reason, exactly what I told you right now. So please keep that in mind and never forget that you are trading against professional people and algorithms that have huge amounts of money, and they have no problem at all to basically steal candy from a baby, from you, right? Because it's so easy for them to manipulate it in one or the other direction for the short term. For the long term, it's much harder to do. They will need billions to do that, right? So they will think quite a lot before doing that. But doing it on a shorter time frame, that's easy. You can do it anytime, and you don't need so much money to put at risk to manipulate the chart. So please keep that in mind, okay? The next thing you need to fully understand is speed, okay? So Let me explain. It's quite important actually, and it's very easy to understand. And keep in mind that I'm an engineer. I've been building, one of the biggest mobile advertising networks on the planet, where we had 300 milliseconds maximum response time on 1 billion requests per hour, like huge platform. So I know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about speed, low latency, okay, and making money in real time, and losing money in real time if, it's too slow to respond to requests. So, okay, with that background, yes, I've built systems like that. Now, let's think about speed, okay? So if you are using, let's say you're using Binance, and Binance has a server somewhere in Asia, okay, right? And you're using TradingView, okay, to get a signal to 3 commas or to SIGNUM, right? Then you can see that this might be quick, right? This might be, well, slower, obviously, because our servers from SIGNUM are in Germany, Frankfurt, right? Okay, fine, whatever. Let's say this takes like 120, 150 milliseconds or something like that. But then it needs to go to Binance, right? So even if you're with 3 commas, you're very close, you will still have to send it all over the planet over to Asia, right? And so how long does that take to get the signal from the tools that you have access to, right, to the exchange? Okay, and again, keep in mind you're on a smaller time frame, right? You're like 1 hour or like 15 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute, whatever, small time frame, right? So does it have a negative effect, do you think, if you are not super close to the exchange, right? Do you think, like logically speaking, yeah, do you think it's better to send a signal from the US to Binance, or you think it's better to send a signal from Europe to Binance, or do you think it's better to have a server next to the exchange servers and communicate as fast as possible? What do you think, mate? What do you think is better? Okay. And so if you don't have any technical skills, right, to program a trading strategy in a programming language that can react quickly, right, like C#, C even, right, or Rust, or or something like that, then you're using tools that are by design slow to respond to anything, right? So again, going back to manipulating the price a little bit here. So if there is some, wick or some quick price movement, right? Who do you think will be faster to fake you out, and then to move the price back while you don't even manage to send a signal across the world to the exchange? This guy here, especially the market maker, right? This is the market maker amigo here. Oops, I messed up the chat. So this market maker here, right? Or institutional server, or whoever is smart enough to understand how the game is played, right? This person or this server will be so much faster. They will make 5 trades while you make 1 if you're lucky, okay? So while your signals take seconds to reach the exchange, the guys who know how this game is played on smaller time frames, their signals take milliseconds, okay, 1,000 times faster, all right? You understand? So, like, how do you even consider playing this game if you know what's going on? And, well, you might not have known what's going on. That's why I'm telling you. And so I'm coming from this industry, right? Not from trading, assets, but trading advertising assets. Well, these all assets, right? So you had to be so fast. The faster you were, the more money you made, right? It's pretty obvious. Time is money, right? Like it's not a coincidence, right? So this is the game that is played, okay? And you have to understand, right? Volume is a topic. Speed is another topic. You have no chance whatsoever if you're not a developer and you don't have some money to put servers close to the exchange, have connections to the exchange to give you, their IP addresses or whatever, or to let you into their data center. I mean, like, it's not gonna happen, mate. Okay, okay, so that's the second thing, right? You learned about volume, you learned about speed, okay? And by the way, right, if you're thinking with me now, you see that it's not about the strategy. It's not about the strategy, right? You can have any strategy you like. You can have the best strategy in the universe, okay? In the universe, right? You can have for 5-minute chart, right? For 15-minute chart, you can have the best strategy ever, but you will be too slow to send the signal and someone else will be faster than you. And after you bought, they do exactly the opposite. You fake you out, move the price again, while you're not even fast enough to react to anything, right? So it is clear that they are running laps around you while you're just looking left and right what's happening. So you can have the best strategy, but you cannot execute it properly, okay? So that's the next problem. And the third thing that you need to keep in mind is that the tools that you have access to, okay, they are not professional tools, okay? like TradingView is not a professional trading strategy execution software, right? And so that is why you cannot use it to play the professional game on speed, right? Latency, and on, lower time frames where volume matters, right? And where money can, fake you out of your trade. So it's just not made for that, right? So TradingView is good for looking at the chart, but not for executing quickly, okay? And it's not just, you don't even have the strategy tester, right? It's nice, okay? I'm using it, I make a lot of videos about it, but it's made for a specific thing, right? Not for everything, right? It's made for, trend following or maybe swing trading, right? And that's it, right? Everything else, it's just useless. It's not going to help you, right? Unless you have a lot of money to pay for their real-time data. And not even then, because even then, you need to have the server and all the data, right, close to the exchange that you're trading on, right? I mean, it's like, yeah. And then again, SIGNUM and all of this other stuff, this is consumer grade retail software, okay? This is not professional trading software, and any professional developer, all right, or institution that wants to trade quickly, they will use completely different self-developed often software, okay? That you have no chance to compete. I mean, sorry, right? I mean, okay, so I'm here just to show you the truth, like what game or which game are you playing here, right? Because if you are looking at this, then you have to ask yourself, which game can you even play, right? Which game can you play? Because you don't have professional tools, you will have latency, and you don't have so much money that you can manipulate other people out of their trades and make money that way, right? Which on smaller time frames, it happens all the time. It's like, yeah, I have to tell you, like on smaller time frames, faking people out, like retail people out of their trades or into a fake trade and then going back in the other direction, people don't know what they're fighting against, what the enemy is. The enemy is massive, okay? You just don't see the enemy, right? Because it's not in front of you, it's just the chart. But behind the chart, imagine freaking Mike Tyson when he was 21 or something, okay? Or yeah, I'm not a professional Mike Tyson timeframes, but just imagine you're fighting that guy, okay? Or imagine, like I said in the intro, imagine you're driving a Honda Civic in a drag race, okay? Like on a lower time frame, that's who you are, mate, okay? You are the freaking Honda Civic, or you are the guy that looks like me fighting Mike Tyson. I'm sorry, we are both called Mike, but it's not gonna help me anything, right? So like, or Michael at least, whatever. So you get the idea, right? So on the 4-hour chart, you have a bit of a better chance because the higher you go, right, the more chances you have. And why is that the case, right? It's because you are suddenly coming into the universe where your tools and your speed and the money you have match, right? The access you have, right? And what you can use, right? So if you have these tools and nothing else, right? You're not a professional coder, you're not an institution, you cannot play the game of quick price manipulation on smaller time frames, right? Then you have to play the game that you can play, right? And the game you can play, to keep it simple for you, right? The game you can play is on the 4-hour chart or higher, okay? Because the tools that you have access to match the dynamics of the 4-hour or higher time frames, right? Now that you understand all these details that you need to understand, 3 simple things, volume, speed, and tools, you know that you cannot play a game below this time frame, okay? I mean, not financial advice, you can go and lose your money, that's fine. But let me now go to and let me try to do that in real time somehow. So let me go to the 1-day chart, okay? If I go to the 1-day chart, and the box is still there, you see, a 1% move, right? From the same location, right? It doesn't matter at all. Like, I don't care, mate. Like, yes, it went down 1%. My stop loss would have been at least inside of this downward sloping, diagonal trend line because we have this triangle, right? I mean, or my stop loss would have been here or here. So it's so far away, okay? You cannot fake me out with a 1% move, okay? So 22 million is not enough, okay? It's not enough to fake me out of a position, okay? It's not gonna happen, right? So now suddenly you need to take more money into your hands, right? And depends where I have bought, right? Of course. But you need to take more money, right? You need to take 4.5%, or maybe here you need to take 2.5%, right? Almost double, 2.5 times that money to fake me out of my position, right? If I would have my stop loss here or here, right? And that is huge money, okay? Like, yes, it can still happen, right? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's never gonna happen, but you have to see the probabilities, right? The probabilities of this happening on smaller time frames is much higher, so I will have more issues more often, and the probability of the one-day chart happening on the one-day chart is much lower, right? And so I will have issues much less often, okay? And so that is why I do what I do, okay? That is why I do trend following. That is why I do, I buy and sell very seldom. I don't do shorting. I don't do leverage because I don't need to do that, right? With my strategies, it works very well for the long term and I don't need to be greedy, make money often, right? And so the next thing that I have to talk to you about is why people want to make money quickly on shorter time frames. And the reason is very simple. The reason is they want to make a salary, right? A recurring revenue with trading. And let me tell you something. You will never, ever in your life become successful in trading and investing if you're trying to make money consistently and regularly by trading or investing. It's a fully waste of time idea, and you will never ever make money this way, okay? And there is a reason why this is irregular income, variable income, okay? Where sometimes you make absolutely nothing because there is no opportunity in the chart, right? And sometimes you make a lot of money, right? And the goal is to keep that money, okay? So don't miss out, make profits and keep it, right? Not trade every day as much as possible, maybe you make money. No, okay? And hopefully you make regular income. So forget the idea of making regular income with trading or investing. Instead, just get a job, okay? Just get a freaking job and make consistent money there because it will free you up of all the greed and all the stupid ideas so you can actually do the right thing when it comes to trading and investing, which is let it happen automatically and take what you can get, not force it, right? Because if you're trying to make money every day, you have to go to a lower time frame, right? You have to, right? Because otherwise, how would you have enough trades happening so that you can get there? But then when you go to the lower time frame to make it happen, you run into all of these problems, right? That we have discussed here. So you're screwed again, right? Like you have to get out of this. It's not gonna work like that, okay? You're basically being screwed by what you hear online. And let me tell you one more thing, right? Let me tell you one more thing, and it's not going to make me friends with exchanges, but if you're an exchange, right, then what do you want people to do? Do you want them to go on the spot market and go long on some assets for months and not do any trading in between and basically have one trade on the bottom of the market and one trade, one buying, right? So you pay fee one time and then one selling at the top, exaggerating, of course, but selling at the top. So you pay fees twice and that's it. You never leverage, you never borrow, you never anything, right? You don't get liquidated or any of that. And so you have two trades per bull market. Is that what you want people to do if you have an exchange? Or if you have an exchange, you want people to trade as much as possible with as much leverage as possible, okay? And as often as possible, right? Because then there are more fees collected. So if you are an exchange, which type of user would you love to have on your platform? You tell me, right? Okay. So if you see everybody, including YouTubers, telling you that leverage is cool, trading often is nice, here is a strategy for the 5-minute chart or the 1-hour chart or whatever, it is because, and listen to this guy, like I have to go full screen because this is so important. Listen to this. They do this not because they like you, mate, okay? They do this because if you click on their link and then you do shit like that to trade a lot and leverage and everything, they make money, mate, okay? So I showed you now why you're fully screwed from the beginning to the end if you're playing this game, okay? If you're playing their game instead of playing your game, okay? So the YouTuber makes money, right? Because you clicked on the link, you trade a lot. The exchange makes money, so the YouTuber makes money as well because they get a percentage of that, right? And so whenever you see somebody promoting leverage, trading often and shit like this, right? You know they don't care about you because I showed you why you're screwed. You cannot win this game, okay? You cannot. Like, you are a retail investor, mate. You were not gonna make it. It's the same as you will not have the idea to drive a Formula One race against Hamilton. Like, you're not even thinking about it's stupid, like, okay? But why are you trying to trade against the best traders on the planet, which are machines, actually, on the lower time frame? Why is that a good idea, you know? Like, okay? And that is why, and listen to this, right? That is why you will never, ever find a link to an exchange from me on anything. I will never, ever put a link on below my videos or any of that because it would motivate me to lead you to slaughterhouse right? Because, no good. So I don't need to put a link, okay? Just go spot and long, that's it, okay? So does it make sense now why it's so hard to do, okay? And so what is the solution, okay? Because okay, so what is the solution? Because I was telling you a lot about how you're screwed all the time, which you are, right? Like if you're losing money, this is the reason, okay? But what can you do, okay, to make it better? Let me show you. Well, you can use a trend following strategy, and I have the Gaussian channel strategy if you don't know yet, okay? We have that in Signum. You can simply come here into strategies, and this is the Gaussian channel strategy. We have also the Ichimoku, right? And you will not find strategies here that are below 4-hour time frame because of what I just told you, okay? So this is 4 hour, this is 1 day. These are the ones that we have developed, right, in-house, and you can get access by clicking here, putting your TradingView username, clicking give access, and then putting this strategy, right? This is the strategy on your chart, okay? There are the instructions here. It's very easy. And those are public strategies that we have found that are actually very interesting that you can use as well. They're not from us, but we like them, okay? It's not like an endorsement, but, check them out. And they all work in a trend following way, trading little but making good money. So you can see here, since 2018, the first trade was somewhere here in April 2018. This particular strategy made 2,500% profit on Bitcoin, yes, with a drawdown of 30%. It had 46 trades, and basically it's actually quite a good strategy if you compare to what most people are achieving in their account. And it's not perfect, right? But it's for a freely available strategy. It's very nice. And you can see it captures these nice uptrends here. And it can be invested for like 74 days, right? It can be here invested for, what was this? Let me check here, for 94 days, right? And sometimes it's going out quickly because there is basically the price turns around and it has to go out very quickly. But if it catches a nice uptrend, like for example in the last bull market, it can be invested, and really check this out, right? It can be invested for 180 days without any issue, right? Because it's on the spot account, it's long, there is no leverage, you are not paying any fees for keeping this open. I mean, it's very simple. What else do you need, right? And so, of course, this is a much better strategy than what most people are using, right? And that's why it's there. So you have a benefit from that. And yes, I have other strategies. For example, I have my own strategy. I don't even think I have it on the chart right now. Yeah, so let me add it on the chart. One of my strategies that I really like is this one here. Also trading since 2018, but the first trade was here because it avoided the downside, and it made 3,200% profit with 20% drawdown, and it's very nice. I mean, I really like it. Okay, let me turn off the other one because it's a bit confusing if both of them are on. Right, so it's out. Okay, it basically avoided the whole thing here. It avoided a lot of the issues with Ethereum, Solana, like it sold here. It pretty much avoided like a 26% drawdown. On Ethereum, it avoided even more actually. It avoided a drawdown of 21, but actually the drawdown was much more. It was at the end of the wick, if you are very professional about this. 37% avoidance. I mean, like if you have a good strategy, and the Gaussian channel is great, you can go to Signum. I will put the link down below, and then you can use all of these strategies and check them out on the chart, okay, and see what you can get out of them for yourself. And then you will understand why exchanges will hate you for using this, because basically, and let me turn this so I don't like these things on the chart. So they will hate you because you're not trading so much, right, on one asset. I'm trading a lot if you combine all the assets together, because my portfolio, right, I have an automation for a lot of coins here, right? So I'm trading not just one asset with the same strategy. I'm trading with the same strategy 15, 20 assets, right? And so anyway, if you are on an exchange and you trade so seldom, right? You have 23 trades in just 7 years, right? On this asset, of course, same strategy on more assets, more trades, yeah? But it's not very profitable for them, right? They will not promote this. Like, it doesn't make sense. And so another thing that I want to warn you about is if you go to an exchange and you're using their bots, right? Or their AI trading, you will see very quickly that this AI or the bots, they want to trade a lot, right? They want to trade a lot. They want to short, they want to leverage, because again, right, it has to produce fees for the exchange, all right? And that's the only thing that matters for them, right? The only thing that matters, okay? And there is one more scary stuff, and I will go full screen for that again, because the scary stuff is this, right? If you're talking to exchange, if you have access to talking to exchanges and to their team, then they will tell you that more than 50%, okay, of their user base disappears every year, okay? Understand? So they go bankrupt. That's what it means, right? Because they leverage, they get liquidated, they just disappear, right? And in order to the exchange to get new people into the exchange, right? New meat, you need YouTubers, right? You need influencers to tell people, hey, the exchange is awesome. Let's go, right? And let's do leverage and everything. So the game is a bit rigged against you if you don't know how the game works, right? Which is why I make this video and I'm shouting at you, okay, all the time, so that you fully understand now that you cannot win in this game unless you understand the freaking game. And the game is that you have to play 4-hour or higher and strategies that work on those time frames, okay? And that's it, okay? And if you can fully automate it as well, which you can do with SIGNUM, and all of that, and if not, I will put a video somewhere, you can check it out. Then if you understand this, right? And basically you have internalized that you need to play the game that you can play, that you have a chance to play, right? Then you have to, well, first of all, you have to watch more of my videos because you learn more and more and more, right? What works and what doesn't work. Because you can go into the other extreme, and the other extreme, and again, I have to go full screen because that's important. The other extreme is buy and hold, which is a horrible strategy. And I prove it in this video. Yeah, it's here. I will put this video here. Please watch it. Okay, I'm not kidding. This is mathematically proven horrific strategy. Okay, for crypto. For crypto assets is horrific. Okay, I'm not talking about stocks. Talk about crypto. Okay, because we are talking about crypto. Yes. So for crypto, it's the worst strategy ever. Okay, DCA is the second worst strategy. It's in the same video. So you have to be aware that that's also not a solution, right? You cannot say, okay, I go on 5-minute chart and then I say, okay, fuck it, I just do buy and hold. No, okay, like you have to find something in the middle, the sweet spot, I call it, right? And the sweet spot is what I showed you before, in my opinion. Again, not financial advice, it's just mathematically better. Trend following strategy, fully automatic, so that you eliminate emotions out of the equation, right? And you fully do it. You always execute because it's automatic. I mean, it's easy, right? Okay, so those two things, and I have everything you need for that. Okay, let me summarize, because this is really, it doesn't get much easier. Like really, it doesn't get easier than that, right? So you go here, you create an account. So this is signum.money, okay? You go here, you create an account, you get to the strategies, okay? You get yourself access. It doesn't cost anything, right? And then you go create a bot. You can choose all of these exchanges to create bots on, okay? And you can automate this strategy, right? The Gaussian channel on 25 different coins, because you have 25 bots you can use here, right? There's no other limitation. You can do whatever you want, but you just have to do it, right? So you connect the exchange, you connect it, everything is explained here, right? And if you want to know more about trade automation and you want to become a master of trade automation, if your portfolio is a little bit larger, like 25,000 or more, right? Way more, then you can apply for this program. This is my own education, my one and only education program. You have my personal strategies in there. You have all my knowledge about risk management in there. And of course, my super unique how to create a portfolio with risk management calculations. Very nice, very easy to apply. So yeah, if you care about that, apply, click on this freaking button, apply for access. We're going to have a call. And if we basically fit together and we like each other and you like the program, you can join. Okay, so that's one thing that you can do. The other thing that you can do is obviously use SIGNUM, like I told you, to get, I put the link down there, to get access to the strategies and to start automating, because the automation is the final but important step to actually stick to a strategy for a long time. And the automation helps with that, okay? And so I hope that I was able to open your eyes about this topic and to make sure that you're not falling for the trap that the whole internet is setting for you, okay? Because they want you to lose your money. Like, they're not saying it like this, but if you actually look into the game that you're playing and the enemies that you have playing that game, it will be like you don't have any chance, okay? So please take this seriously that I'm telling you here. I put my time to research this, to put it together so that you understand this, okay? And let me know down below in the comments if I was able to inspire you, to open your eyes. Like the video, massage the like button, okay, right? I need a good massage anyway. And subscribe to this freaking channel. We have huge amounts of subscribers. Thank you for that. I'm super hyped. I got my award as well, like my silver thing, right? It's very nice. And if you want to understand the Gaussian channel strategy that I showed you in this video very briefly, then I have a perfect video explaining exactly that and how it works, how to automate it, what to look out for. And so in that case, this is the next video you should watch.
It's trading.